Hey, we are so lucky. We have a great guest on tonight's program. We have Kate Pockele. She's World's Miss Tourism 2012 live in full streaming video tonight on the PageantCast.
Hi. Hello. I'm there.
Welcome to the PageantCast, your home for beauty pageant news and interviews on the internet.
PageantCast episode 325.
And we are live. This is the PageantCast. So glad that you all can join us. We have a great show, and I have one of the most enthusiastic guests we've ever had on the program coming up. Hi, my name's Tim Kretschmann. This is the PageantCast, and we are live from our studios in Muskego. Want to wish you all a great evening. We're going to get things started right now here on the PageantCast. And here we are. We have the beautiful Kate Pockele, World's Miss Tourism 2012. Did I finally say your name right, Kate?
You said it right, Tim. Points for saying the name right.
All right, fantastic. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to come on tonight's program. Need to ask you, where are we calling you? Where in the world are you, Kate?
I live in the beautiful Niagara region of Ontario, Canada.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
I've lived here for just about 4 years now. Originally, I moved here to go to college after I completed my Bachelor of Arts degree in university. And after I graduated, I just stuck around. I liked it here so much. It's wine country. It's beautiful. I love it here. It's a nice place to live.
Now, and tell us a little bit about what some of your antecedents have been, what some of the past pageants you've been participating in have been.
Well, the first pageant I did was Miss Teen Canada International, and I was about 15 or 16, so it was almost 10 years ago now. And there were a couple girls from my hometown. I'm originally from the Windsor-Detroit area, about 40 minutes away from the border. There were some girls that competed in pageants, so I thought that I'd give it a shot. And I ended up placing runner-up in the first pageant that I ever did, which was a very large national pageant. Since then, I've competed in Miss All-Canadian, Miss Canada Galaxy, Miss Teen Canada Scholarship, and just recently I went and competed at World's Miss Tourism in Kentucky.
And certainly that was a successful venture for you, because here you are. Now, I have to ask you about this. That crown looks heavy. It's huge, but you were nice enough to do this for me earlier. Can you show that to the camera? There's actually a figure of a young lady right there in your crown in pink.
I need to think of a name for her. Okay, I'm going to come in.
Okay, here she comes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, I'm coming in hot. All right.
Let me get a single shot there. And there it is. You can see it in all of its glory. Though, quite frankly, I much prefer the young lady underneath. The beautiful young lady.
So sweet.
So glad that we got to talk to you a little bit here today. Now, I don't know a whole lot about World's Miss Tourism, and that's saying something. I've been involved in a lot of different pageants. Why don't you give me the nickel tour? What is World's Miss Tourism?
Well, the tourism pageant, it's really a wonderful organization. It's out of Ohio in the United States. It's a small pageant, a small American pageant. The reason that I chose tourism is because it has a very strong root and foundation based in volunteerism and community service, and that's something that I really seek out when it comes to choosing a pageant. For me, it's not about the glitz and the glam. It's not about the beauty. It's about what you can do for others with your title. The tourism pageant's also wonderful because they have a very strong anti-bullying and anti-bullying awareness campaign that they promote. They really like their participants to get out there and promote this issue and shed some light to it. So the tourism pageant, they want their contestants to be friends with each other. They really push you and challenge you to be the best girl that you can be and be a role model. I wish that there were more people that knew about this pageant, because it really, truly is a wonderful organization, and it's helped me build a lot of character over this year. It's a great pageant for sure.
Well, hopefully a lot more people do know about it now that you've been on this program. I hope that it does that. I'm working on it. Now, I think it's interesting that you have a tourism title, and here you're in Niagara Falls. That was at one time the biggest tourist location for honeymooners. Is it still a spot
That is
for
correct.
Is it still a great spot for romance?
It is. You know, Niagara Falls has this charm to it. It's almost like a mini Las Vegas. I mean, it really has this old tourist feel to it. There's a lot to do there. Some people say that they don't like it. They think it's kind of tacky. They think it's kind of dirty, but I love it. It has this wonderful old charm. And one of the great parts about tourism is that there is a national costume competition to the pageant. So being from this area, I could have done a lot of things with this because I'm from Canada, but I wanted to kind of specifically hone things into where I live, and I'm from the Niagara region. So I chose the Butterfly Conservatory that's here. It's the largest one in North America. I used that as my idea and kind of took that and ran with it for the costume, and it ended up faring me very well. So Niagara has a lot to offer, and I've been very lucky to promote it and definitely, let people know about where I come from.
Well, I'm glad you said butterfly, because I was picturing already you jumping into a barrel and going over the falls. And I thought, coming out there in a barrel wouldn't be very flattering. Now, when
people still do that too. It's terrifying.
Really?
There have been a couple accidents, unfortunately, where yes, people have gone over the falls, but people still do it for the thrill, and they end up surviving. I don't know. It's pretty crazy to me. I would never do it.
It doesn't sound like a good idea, I'll say that. Now, I was last out in that area back, I would say, the early 80s or so, and there was a park called Ontario Place. Is that still around out there?
I thought that Ontario Place is in Toronto.
Oh, maybe I'm way off, because it was all one trip.
There is a big park there, right in front of Niagara Falls. There's a beautiful kind of waterfront area, I guess you could say, right along the falls. It's beautiful. It's maintained very well.
Okay, well, that's great. I remember I was a little younger then, but I remember just bits and pieces, and certainly a great part of Canada to go visit. And now there's even one more beautiful thing to see out there. That, of course, is you, Kate. So, yeah.
Oh, go on.
I know. It's cheesy, but it's what we do here. Hey, we're going to take our first break. I told you this is quick, right?
It's going by so fast.
Yeah, so we're going to have more with Kate in just a moment, folks. We'll be right back. The PageantCast is on the road again. We just signed up. We're going to be back at United America 2012. Now, it's a different time of year, folks. It's June 22nd through the 24th. It was in October. Now it's in June. But it's the same great place. It's in Austin, Texas. And I heard about one of the very special things that we're going to be doing there that's exclusive. The only place in the world you can see what we're going to be doing is in Austin, Texas. You're going to find out. That's going to be released with a lot of other information. Check their website. We'd love to see all of you at United America this year. Come on out. The PageantCast will be there for United America 2012 in Austin, Texas in June. And we are back. We're back with the beautiful Kate Pockele, World's Miss Tourism 2012. Welcome back there, Kate.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
Well, thank you for coming on. Now, one of the things that you really wanted to talk and discuss about tonight, and I thought we should start the second segment with it, is your focus on anti-bullying. Can you give us any tips to avoid or end bullying? Let's start with, How do you know somebody is being bullied?
Honestly, sometimes you don't know. I have a very strong personal story with bullying. When I was about 14 or 15, I experienced it. You know, it was pretty bad when I was in my first year of high school. A lot of times you can't really pick up on the signals. You may notice that somebody's being a bit more introverted, a bit more quiet than usual, but it really took my parents to kind of hone in on what's going on and to ask me, you know, if everything was okay. So unfortunately, you can't really see the signs, but I mean, for a lot of younger people out there, you know, whether you're 9, 10 years old or if you're a teenager, it doesn't matter. Everybody can experience bullying in some form or another. Just be aware of what's going on. If you notice any of your friends or anybody that seems like they're struggling, or if you maybe pick up, especially with Facebook and Twitter now, it's so easy for especially cyberbullying to be prominent. It's kind of hard to control. If you notice anything, step up, help your friends out, speak up. The first step is letting them know that there's somebody there they can talk to. If it gets to a point where, you know, it's kind of out of control and it's getting quite serious, then somebody else may need to step in, whether it's a parent, a teacher, a principal, or the authorities. If it gets to that point, there are ways to control it. You just have to know where to start.
It seems to me like a very difficult thing to deal with once it gets started. How exactly, what is the best way to start that out? Go to an adult, but what if you're already an adult? You know, we hear about this with college students as well these days. Who are some of the authorities that they can go to for help, Kate?
Well, I do know that, especially in high schools, colleges, and universities, there are a lot of counseling services that you can, they're free of charge. It's your discretion for you to go to them. That's always an outlet. Talking with your friends about it, having an open relationship with your parents about it, no matter how young or old you are. I mean, I still talk to my parents about everything. I still have problems with my friends, not necessarily bullying, but any kind of conflicts, I still go to them. So there are outlets out there for you. Just staying aware of what's going on as well. I know with social media and with all the news, you hear about these terrible and tragic stories. It's just about creating a support system for yourself of people that love you and care about you enough around you to pick up on those signals in case something's wrong. And you just have to be confident enough to speak with people if something like that were to come up. It's tough. It definitely is tough, but it's something that, you know, as you grow, as you learn and grow and get a bit older, it might be easier to deal with, but it's definitely tough on younger people, that's for sure.
Now, have you had any appearances associated with this or other appearances that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, Bullying Awareness Week here in the Niagara region of Ontario, Canada, is at the end of November. So unfortunately, I was away competing at tourism when they were hosting a lot of the events at elementary and high schools here in the Niagara region. But I'm really hoping this year I would really like to start a public speaking campaign, become some sort of an advocate or a spokeswoman for bullying awareness. I really don't have any problem public speaking. I'm quite confident doing it. I just think that it would be a wonderful opportunity and platform for me to be able to kind of bring some light to this issue. So I'm hoping that I can start some kind of a circuit speaking at schools, even if it's just in my region to start. That would be something I'd really like to do.
Now, folks that want to have you at their next event or get an appearance, they should contact your director through worldsmisstourismpageants.com.
You can. All the contact information for the director, her name is Terry Alexander Moore. She is on the World's Miss Tourism website. You can also contact me via Facebook, Twitter, email. If anybody is interested in partnering with me or having me appear at any type of event or community function this next year, I'll gladly do it. I'm very excited.
Well, tell us a little bit about the competition itself. What are the phases of competition that you competed in?
At tourism, it was 30% evening gown,
okay,
30% interview with a panel of judges. There were 3 judges that you sat with each. 30% was national costume, and then 10% was a photogenic submission.
Okay, and what's your favorite phase of competition, Kate? Because I can't picture you being bad at any, so I know you had fun at all of them, but what's your favorite?
Probably having a complete stranger in front of me and just being able to, in just a couple of minutes, have them, who, you? No, never. I just really like having a chance to get to know somebody in like it's like crunch time. You only have a couple minutes to tell somebody everything that you want to tell them. So interview is definitely the most challenging, but I think it's the most rewarding experience of actually competing in a pageant.
Well, absolutely. I can tell that they got themselves a great representative for their pageant system this year. Kate, I really want to thank you so much for coming on tonight's show. You have been an absolute dream guest, absolutely wonderful, and have put up with all the technology we got to deal with here. I look forward to the days where we press one button and the whole show goes.
No kidding.
Now, I'm going to give you one moment here. We're putting your name up underneath you on the screen. So if you have anything you'd like to tell all the folks out there, just telling them about your pageant system or whatever you want to say, this is your time. So go ahead directly to our audience.
Well, hi everyone. For those of you that joined me tonight, thank you so much for showing all of your support, family, friends, everyone. I had a wonderful year as World's Miss Canada Tourism, and I felt so blessed to be able to represent my beautiful country of Canada at the International Pageant, and I'm so proud to have taken home the overall title of World's Miss Tourism. So this next year is definitely going to be one for the history books for me, and I just want to thank everyone so much for your continued support and love. It's a very exciting time in my life, and I wouldn't want to spend it any other way. So thank you so much.
And we'd like to thank you one more time for coming on the show. Thanks so much, Kate.
Thank you so much for having me, Tim. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Well, folks, that's it for tonight's show. Want to thank you all for tuning in. Want to remind you we'll be live again next week. Yes, you can relax a little bit, Kate. I have the camera off you for a moment. We'll be back on next Monday night, 9:15 Eastern, 8:15 Central, 7:15 Mountain, and 6:15 Pacific. Now I'm putting Kate back on the screen, so now she has to straighten up again. So we're going to wave goodbye. Let's see your best pageant wave. Mine is horrible.
What is it? Elbow, wrist.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I end up waving like all spastically like this. So that's how I'm going to wave goodbye.
I've kind of learned this one because it's easier than anything else. Just kind of flapping around. So anyway, until next week, everybody, Tierra Dreams. Thanks for tuning in tonight.